What's going on, everyone? DJ here with Froku Gaming, bringing you another video, and we are discussing Dragon Ball DAIMA Episode 3, because that is the most recent one, of course, and I am late on doing the review. But anyways, the title of this episode, rather, is called DAIMA, because they are going into the demon world. I'm guessing that's what DAIMA means. I'm not completely sure. I know it's like a made-up word for them or whatever, just for the lore of Dragon Ball, but whatever. So this episode was very Goku, Glorio, and Shin, aka Supreme Kai heavy. I'm gonna start calling him Shin because, like, we find out a lot about him, like specifically him being from the actual demon realm, which is actually kind of cool. He just so happens to have become a Supreme Kai. So, we find out that Demon Realm planes, of course, function on magic, which is why they're so fast. Goku was kind of surprised at how fast it was, and it was fast to the point where they were able to get to the warp point in time, like in I guess a great amount of time for them to travel from like Universe 7 to the Demon Realm. When they do, they have to travel to a place called Batapi of the Raka system. I'm guessing it's a spot within Universe 7. Again, more lore and world building to get to what they call Warp Sama, who is like this big giant fish looking thing that we saw in episode 1 when Degetsu and Goma were leaving for Universe 7. The Warp Sama, the fish, he does confirm, like, hey, you cannot travel to the demon realm unless you have pointy ears. Now, also, at this point, this dude's getting, like, upset with Goku because Goku keeps calling the dude a fish. And it's, like, funny. It's great Dragon Ball humor. Toriyama Dragon Ball humor. And Goku's, like, calling him a fish. And dude's like, bro, stop calling me a fish. And Goku's like, all right, but, I mean, technically you're a fish, you know, whatever. So they're doing all that. Supreme Kai pretty much he has to relay like the location of the Warp Sama to Kibito. However, when they get there, like I said, Goku's making fun of him. They cannot travel unless they have pointy ears. So Supreme Kai makes Goku have pointy ears for a certain amount of time. Now, one of the things that they did not count on was that they needed to have a pin number to travel. And Glorio kind of confirms that yeah, it wasn't a thing before, or I'm sorry, Supreme Kai says this wasn't a thing before, and Glorio's pretty much says, yeah, I know, but now you have to put in like applications to travel from the demon realm and to travel back to the demon realm, and they give you a pin number. So he had his own specific pin, which Supreme Kai was trying to relate to Kibito, and I'm not sure if that would have worked because it was Glorio's pin anyway. But now we see that Kibito, Vegeta, Bulma, and Piccolo are kind of in a pickle as far as to getting to the demon realm. We know they get there, but we don't know how because they don't have a pin number. But we'll see how that all works out. Goku and the gang get warped into what is called the relay point of the demon realm. And it's a very funny scene because they spin really fast and Goku gets like nauseous and Supreme Kai or Shin is like, nigga, you better not throw up. And Goku's like, all right. And then they go to the relay point, and it's here where, again, more lore and world building, which is what I'm loving about this show so far. You find out there are 3 different demon worlds within the demon realm. Color-coded by red, blue, and yellow. Slifer, Obelisk, Ra is the way I always look at it when it comes to anime. 3 primary colors. As you know, within Yu-Gi-Oh!, Ra was the weakest of the god cards, and then Obelisk was like that hidden power, but, you know, he wasn't as strong as Yellow, which was Ra, and that's kind of how the demon world is set up. So you have the first world, which is... actually, no, that's not how it is. It's actually backwards, because the first... They call it Hatch. So the first Hatch, the first demon realm, is represented by the color red, and that's actually where Goma resides. So that's probably where like more of the stronger high upper class of the demon realm live. The second is represented by blue. And then the third is represented by yellow, which is where Glorio only has access to. And that's probably because that is where like the scum or like the lower of the low demons for the demon realm live. Glorio kind of explains that you can't, like the ones from the third world cannot access like any of the other ones. Again, because they're probably like lower of the low or whatever. So the third world's also furthest from Goma because it's the furthest from Demon World 1. Goku is actually amazed by the Demon Realm because he said it kind of reminds him of Earth, but it, you know, of course the sky and stuff looks different. They pass by this like tunnel, which looks really cool. And Supreme Kai tells Goku it was the Demon Realm tunnel. It was a way to travel between the worlds. So you could travel from 3 to 2 to 1 and stuff like that. But whatever happened, Supreme Kai says, as before he was like even older, like there was a shield of light that prevents the travel, which is why they have to use the warp sama. And only, only certain people can use the warp sama. And he was like, yo, so Glorio, like, how are you able to use it? And Glorio's like, well, you know, I do a little bit of this and a little bit of that. You know, he's pretty vague when it comes to talking to Shin. And Shin's kind of like, all right, like, I have my reserves about this dude. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if I can trust him. And then, of course, you have Goku, who's just, he don't give a shit. He's going to trust you regardless until you, like, turn on his ass. But yeah, that's the reason why they have to use warp sama now, is because they've stopped the travel with the Demon Realm tunnel. As they are flying through the Demon Realm, there is a huge statue of Deborah who's like smiling with like the peace sign and stuff like that. This is crazy. I wonder if these guys know that Deborah did not go to hell. He is in Otherworld. Like, he turned to one of the nicest demons, I guess. I don't know. But I believe the last time we saw him, he was like chilling with Bulma and Chi-Chi and Videl, if I'm not mistaken. And again, I don't know if that was in the manga or not. I did not read the Dragon Ball Z manga, just watched the anime. So that could have been just something for the anime. And Toriyama probably forgot about it. Who knows? I don't know. I have no clue. As this is going on, though, like, y'all, this feels a whole lot like Dragon Ball GT. And that's not a bad thing. Like I said, Dragon Ball GT, in my opinion, was not the best for Dragon Ball, but it's not like the worst thing ever. And this so far for me has just felt like really cool. Like I said, the whole Demon World aspect of it is just really cool. Goku pretty much is like, yo, Glorio, can you please let us out? I'm trying to get some fresh air. I want to see what it's like. So they let him out, and Goku instantly notices like that the air is like super heavy, super thick, as he tries to move around and stuff like that. He goes for like some punches and shit or whatever, and he just notices like his body's really slow. It's at this point where Glorio is like, he talks to Shin and he's like, hey, you're a Glend, whatever that is. They didn't go too much into it, but he's like, you're a Glend from the second world, right? And Shin's like, yeah. And Glorio's like, yeah, your kind wouldn't or didn't have much to do here in the third world, which is, you know, like why he wouldn't know much about it. So just context clues is he became Supreme Kai, right? He's a Glend. His brother, Degasu, gets to live in the first world. And his sister, Dr. Arinsa, also gets to live in the first world. So my guess is they come from like money, like whatever kind of money it is there on the Demon Realm. They come from like a high family or something within the second world. And, you know, the brother and sister went bad and he became the Supreme Kai somehow. Hopefully we get to that point to where they kind of tell us like how he became Supreme Kai, how he met the because he wouldn't have met the Okai, right? Because Okai was trapped within the Z Sword. So lots of unanswered questions when it comes to that, but we'll see what happens. Goku's out, you know, just messing around and stuff, and he gets to this point where he almost falls into what Glorio calls the Sea of Darkness, and which Glorio's like, yo, if you fall down there, you're dead, like pretty much. So I wonder if that'll come into play later on within the show, or not. Who knows? But as they're again just walking around and Goku's trying to get used to the air, they're attacked by like some ogre looking ugly things or whatever. And Glorio just pretty much finishes them off quickly because, like I said, the air is pretty much thick. Glorio's used to it, so he's able to move around pretty fast. They get back in the ship, and then they start heading out again. And at this point, Glorio finally confirms that his king is called King Kaden, Kadan. Pronounce it however you want. He is the king of the third world, which means I'm guessing there's a second world king. Which, like, if there's 3 different worlds and you have your own kings, like, why are you so focused on Goma? Hopefully that gets touched on. Because I don't know if there's like 3 smaller kings and Goma would be like the bigger king of the demon, because he's like they say he's the demon realm king, right? So I would assume there's a king for the worlds, and then there's the higher king. So, well, I guess we'll just have to see how that plays out. But it just wouldn't make any sense if there's 3 different kings, like, and no super ruler, and then Glorio's like, yo, we gotta kill Goma, because why? Like, why are you so bothered by him? But anyways, Goku noticed that the air he noticed that there's some volcanoes floating in the air, and Glorio kind of explains like, yeah, that's why the air and shit's so heavy. And Goku's like, yeah, it really stinks. Like, if I farted, it probably would just mix in or whatever. And then like a few moments later, Goku fucking farts, and Gloria's like, yo, what's that smell? And Goku's like, okay, you got me, I farted. Like, I don't know, it was funny. It was like fucking, he's a little kid humor, and like, I don't know, Toriyama's just, he did that pretty good. So Glorio's kind of like, hey, on Earth, it was nighttime when y'all left. Let's get some sleep. Now, I don't remember this being in GT. Like I said, I don't have the best memory of GT. I actually started rewatching GT. But people say this is kind of reminiscent of an episode there where they stop into a town and Trunks kind of bullies the someone there, and they get into a fight or whatever. I don't know. But they get into town. Glorio tries to get them rooms for the night, and the guy behind the counter, like, he tried to upcharge them. So Glorio kind of just bullies his way and like shows his gun or whatever. And the guy's like, oh, no, I'll give it to you for 5,000. And Glorio's like, bet. And then Goku's fucking hungry again, of course. So it's really fucking cool, bro. They go to this bar, and Glorio's buying Goku like all these burgers and Supreme Kai drinks and shit like that. And all the demons there are like, yo, Goku, this nigga does not have pointy ears. He's not one of us. We gotta check him. They go, and Glorio's like, yo, y'all need to leave. Don't even try it. Just leave us alone. They don't heed his warning. So Glorio like throws his drink, and then this big ass bar fight breaks out, bro. It is the coolest fucking scene. Like, I don't give a fuck with no one. I love that scene. It was just a fucking bar fight, and Goku's going ham, bro. He got hamburgers in his mouth, and he's just using his martial arts. No ki blast, no Kamehameha. He didn't even use the power pole. Nothing. He's just fighting bare knuckles, and he's whooping all their asses and shit. And the bartender's like all scared and all kinds of shit, and he's like, oh shush, I don't want to fuck with these guys. But it just felt like straight out of OG Dragon Ball, bro. Like, I was so happy to see that scene in there. And as they're fighting, of course, Goku gets used to the air. So he's like, oh, cool, I'm able to move my body and do my movements and do this, do that, or whatever. So they beat up the guys, and then, of course, they go off to go to sleep. And when they wake up, they find out that their plane is gone, because in the middle of the night, the guys that they beat up at the bar stole their ship. And that was it. That was it for that episode. That episode ends with them having no ship. And again, this is something that people have said happened in GT as well. Like I said, I don't remember GT that much, so I actually went back and started watching it again. So, the next episode is called Chatty. And that episode looks like Pansy will finally make her debut in that. I'm not sure when Vegeta and the rest of them, or Vegeta, Piccolo, Bulma, and Kibito will join Goku, Glorio, and Shin. Not sure. The show's 20 episodes long. We are only on the 3rd episode, heading into the 4th. And I am enjoying the show so far. I really am. I think if I had to rank them, I would go 1, 3, and 2 so far. Just because I felt like 2 was kind of a bunch of a slower episode. It was just nothing but them sitting around, really. And episode 1, of course, puts everything into motion. And then this episode, you had your action and stuff like that. And it was just really, really good, in my opinion. But yeah, I'm loving the show so far. I hope you guys are loving it too. I cannot wait to see like where this heads, or like more about the Demon Realm. Like I'm so interested with this whole Demon Realm shit, bro. I also want to see how it connects to Dragon Ball Super and like the overarching story. This sucks for you GT fans out there, right? Because now you know, like, it goes Dragon Ball Z, or Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball DAIMA, Dragon Ball Super, and then GT is just off in its own timeline, and maybe someday it'll get its own sequel or own prequel or something. I don't know, but yeah, that's it for this video. I hope y'all enjoyed, and I will definitely see you all in the next one. I'm out. Peace.